Hola everybody, this is Ray Flip, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. Welcome you guys back once again to the Weekly Static, and this week is our 40th edition, not just the 40th edition, but a special edition. We're going to be taking a look at the past weekend Upfronts presentations from ABC, CBS, CW, the Fox, and Freeform. And for those of you who don't know, Upfronts is the time where now in 2018, the networks, cable channels, and streaming services essentially pitch their upcoming stuff to advertisers to get as many eyeballs onto their product as possible and to get as much advertising dollars to the programs as they possibly can. So this is the time where they really trot out the best and brightest, not just with renewals, but what new program they have coming up. Now, the downside to that is it's also a time period where you see a lot of red wedding type stuff going on because you get to see a lot of series getting their throats cut. And there were some surprises during this past week or two with the upfronts. I know Lucifer was a big surprise. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was such a surprise that NBC picked it up. But there was just a lot of stuff that happened over the past week. What we're going to be doing here is going to be taking a look at 10 takeaways very quickly from the past week, from the 5 that we had mentioned before. There were other ones that took place before. We're looking at the past week just to give you a heads up on things that kind of caught our eye, both good, bad, and everything in between. So top 10, down and dirty, we're going to get started. First off, Whiskey Cavalier got picked up by ABC, which means Walking Dead fans are probably flipping the hell out about Lauren Cohen. Relax, everybody. AMC and ABC, they know what they're doing. Both of them benefit from one another. ABC benefits by having somebody who still has the street cred of The Walking Dead in an AMC series, and AMC is just way too smart, and their show is getting way too big in season 9. They know full well they can just go the Michonne route and film her scenes in bulk and spread them out. I'm very, very, very not concerned about this. So I don't think I got anything to worry about that. That's our first one. Second one, ABC Inhumans finally gets canceled. That is a mercy kill. That is an old yeller, take him out back and put it down. This thing is going to be a punchline along the lines of the Star Wars holiday special. It's going to be along the lines of Roger Corman's Fantastic Four film, and yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I'm glad they pulled the trigger on that one. Fox renewing Gotham, very interesting. They said for a final season, and for a series I haven't been watching, but I have to give a lot of credit. It just seems like they've just been throwing everything out there. You know they're just going to throw everything out there knowing that they've got a final season to kind of wrap things up and all get things to where they need to be. So very interested. I mean, I might actually try to see if I can catch up on Gotham in that regard. We also are taking a look at ABC. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was renewed. Again, for a wrap-up. It's going to be taking place in the summer, so after the next Avengers installment, so they'll be able to kind of get that all up to speed and everything like that. I think it's just an example of how a show that if it was just on its own would have probably been canceled, but when you're part of a big synergy Marvel Cinematic Television universe, and you've got Disney money backing in Marvel and everything else, it's going to buy you a lot more time than if you were another show. So, you know, might as well talk to them. Props. I give them all the credit. Freeform Siren, the little show that could. I was lucky enough to stumble upon it and be covering it now, but Mermaid Fantasy Series from, I think, Eric Wald and Dean White, it definitely was a surprise hit. I didn't see it coming. Apparently, Freeform is very happy since they ordered a second season in 16 episodes, so a nice little boost from the initial 10. They're going the AMC route of like, hey, we like you, we're going to give you additional episodes, though AMC goes like real spare. They'll go like 6, the first one. But again, cost-cutting wise, I can understand. His shows are not cheap. Next up, we got ABC and Kenya Barris. Just a little thing on that one, the controversy about Blackish in the episode that didn't get aired and the controversy about what did it have to do with the politics of the episode and everything like that. I know the president of ABC tried to basically say everything's good between us and Kenya Barris, which it does seem like, but I'm not getting anything else but the impression that the network was very uncomfortable with the subject matters of the episode, and that's the reason why it was pulled. And I can't imagine on Kenya Barris's part that that's not something that can't get moved beyond, but I think it's something that gets moved beyond when you offer him a lot of other great creative deals. But even still, I think that's going to burn a little bit. I know if I was in a position, it would burn me a little bit too. So curious to see where that goes. I don't think ABC did a really good job of kind of smoothing past that. I'm curious to see if this rears its head again. Be very interested. CBS talking about more seasons of The Big Bang Theory. I'm not even sure what to say about this anymore. It's got one of those series where I don't want to say anything bad about it, even if I would. I'm not giving my judgment here. But the fan base is strong. It's loyal. I understand where CBS is coming from. It's like, you know, we thought we gave everybody the heads up that we'd be winding this up, but you guys are still loving it. It's still getting good ratings. It's still getting delayed ratings. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say is CBS is going to have to back up some serious money to the cast and creative for this one because, again, it's the end of the 2-year extension we're coming up on. So, yeah, they're literally going to allow the cast to print money, get their own production companies and things like that. I can't see how. Next up, CW, Stephen Amell, who I gotta say, I rank Stephen Amell now up there with Hugh Jackman and Tom Hanks and others when it comes to people who just go all out to support their projects and the things they're involved with. Stephen Amell putting it out there during the CW Upfronts that Batwoman and Gotham was going to be integrated into the Arrowverse was just the kind of cool comic book announcement that comic book television show loving fans were really going to be into. So again, I can't say I'm somebody who is up by any stretch of the imagination on the CW's DC programming, but I have to tell you, from covering it and seeing Dan Wiglin's coverage of it, especially in his recaps, I gotta say, they really just done an excellent job of just making comic book stuff fun. When CBS had Supergirl, it was just like, but we really don't want it to be. CW is like, we're superhero, we're 10 times superhero, we love being superheroes, we're gonna do crossovers whenever possible. And the bold move of being able to say, we got Batwoman and Gotham in our universe, I gotta say, I think that was a very smart move, and really, you want to put that out there for an upfront. I thought that was pretty strong. On the other hand, with CW, I'm really surprised Wayward Sisters did not get picked up. There was such a strong promotional push from this from everybody across the board. It seemed like the fan base was really strong for it too. I mean, I know they're hesitant with what happened with Bloodlines, but Wayward Sisters just seemed to really work on so many levels that I was really surprised. It was one of those things where it was naturally built in. It seemed like it would just be a natural extension and spin-off from it. The fact that they said it was not up creatively where they wanted it to be, I thought was very telling. Very telling. And again, kind of similar with the ABC Kenya Barris idea. I'm wondering if there's not going to be some issues there, because there's an awkwardness that's going to come from it. You can't help but say it. And a couple people online were talking about this, and it segues into my last one about CW and the Charmed reboot. Some people were wondering if the CW got hesitant about having 2 shows on coming up in the season that had strong female character leads leading it. I would hope not. I hope that wouldn't be the case, because you are talking about, even though we're supernatural realm, we're talking about 2 distinctly different shows. The Charmed reboot, I think, looks fantastic. I think anybody who has issue with it needs to realize, again, I'm not committing sacrilege here, I don't think there's anything so the Old Testament about Charmed that it isn't interesting to see, to do a retake on it. I don't think that diminishes what came before. And I'm hoping everybody kind of comes on board with it, because the first scene look and the trailer look, it looks a lot of fun. It has, again, that potential. I've always thought Charmed should have had a little bit more of the Buffy vibe. I think this has that potential, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope people really give it a chance. People are definitely buzzing about it. Whether they like it or whether they're concerned about it, people are definitely talking about it, because you can see the reactions on social media. So that was a week of Upfronts, and those were just the things that came out of the Upfronts. I didn't even get a chance to go into the non-Upfront news that came out this week, including some cool stuff from The Boys casting and things like that. But yeah, I just thought with everything that came out, we just wanted to talk about those 10 issues. Those were our 10 big takeaways. You'll see down below, you can link to each of the articles and check out the Bleeding Cool writers and what they had to say, and get a little more in-depth about what each of the topics were about. But again, my name is Ray Fluck, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. On behalf of the crew here at the Weekly Static, I'd like to thank you guys for checking this out, and make sure you check out bleedingcool.com all weekend for your best in television, film, comic books, video games, collectibles, anything and everything under the pop culture sun and across the pop culture landscape. So thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the inner tubes. Take care.